Hi, I'm Rekha Yoti, Lead Product Manager for Integration Related Products from Application Technology Group of Oracle eBusiness Suite. I have been receiving few queries on how to define table validated LOVs, such as how to define a table LOV component and then how to use that from a custom integrator that is defined from Desktop Integration Framework. So I thought of coming up with a tutorial, and here it is. This tutorial is for integration developers who are planning to define custom WebEDI integrators using Desktop Integration Framework. You are expected to be familiar with the concepts of Oracle Web Applications Desktop Integrator or WebEDI and the relevant eBusiness Suite application such as HRMS or SCM for which you are planning to design the WebEDI integrator. Now we know that WebEDI supports different types of UI widgets such as list of values or LOVs, and then that there are different types of LOVs such as table validated LOV. The objective of this tutorial is to learn to define table validated LOV that displays a meaningful information to the end user in the LOV as well as in the spreadsheet, but when the user uploads the data to eBusiness Suite, we internally store the corresponding ID or the code instead of the meaningful value. We will use a sample use case to upload suppliers information to custom table. So the first step would be to prepare the database objects such as defining the custom table to store the supplier information and the shipment via information. Then in the second step, we'll create custom integrator, and we are going to use a table-based interface and the table being the supplier table. Then we will define the interface attribute properties such as the prompts or the column headers in the spreadsheet, and then some of the properties such as not null and required columns, etc. And then we will create uploader from the template. So please note one of the columns that will be shown in the spreadsheet is the shipment via or the ship via column, and we are going to use the table LOV against that column. So we define the table LOV component for that interface attribute and then associate the table LOV component to the ship via interface attribute within the integrated definition. And then we define the layout for integrator, preview or test the integrator, enter sample data and verify the uploaded data in the backend. Here is the definition of the custom table that will store the supplier's information. Create the table by selecting the definition and clicking on the execute button. The table is created. Now we register this table using the AD script. Custom suppliers table and its columns are registered now. Now I'm using a custom lookups table to store the shipment via information. This is just an example to use a custom lookup table. You can always use FND lookup tables to store the shipment via information. Now register the custom lookup table along with its columns using the AD script. Insert some sample data to custom lookup table. Initially, custom suppliers table is empty, that is, there are no records in it. There are 5 records in the custom lookup table that will be used for the shipware lookup. Now let us look at the steps to create Integrator. Log in as operations user or as an user who has access to Desktop Integration Manager responsibility. Oracle Applications homepage is displayed. Navigate to Desktop Integration Manager responsibility. Click Create Integrator function. A 5-step wizard to create the integrator definition is displayed. Enter integrator name and an internal name, and then the application. For the sake of simplicity, I am selecting Web Applications Desktop Integrator as the owner application. Define security rules by adding one or more functions, and the users having rights to these functions will be able to use the integrator. Again, for the sake of simplicity, I am selecting Desktop Integration Create Document function. Click Next. Enter interface name. Interface type is table, so we are not going to change that, and we'll be using the custom suppliers table. Select the custom suppliers table and click apply. Table type of interface is created. Now select the interface to view the list of interface attributes. Now if you see, these are the list of columns that we have defined for the custom table, and the same are appearing as the interface attributes for this interface. And now if you notice, some of the values such as the prompt left and the default type for the creation date are pre-selected. We will click on Update Interface Attribute icon to give meaningful name to the prompts. Select Not Null for Supplier ID Interface attribute, but please note we haven't defined this constraint while defining the table. But here we are defining it as not null for the interface attribute. The prompts are pre-populated with the table column name. We can change it to give a meaningful name to be displayed in the spreadsheet. Similarly, I'll change the prompt for inactive date. For supplier name, I'll make it as the required field and change the prompt as well. Required ensures that this column is included for all the layouts that is defined for the integrator, whereas not null ensures that a value is mandatorily provided for this interface attribute. Save the changes. Similarly, change the prompt for VAT registration number. Prompt above is the text that is used as column header when this interface attribute is selected to be displayed at the line item. If this interface attribute is displayed as the header or context related information in the spreadsheet, then we use the prompt left. Similarly, change prompt for shipware. Now that we have defined the interface attribute properties, we will navigate to the next step. Our use case does not include downloading content, so we'll skip this step. This is uploader step. You can create uploader from existing definitions or from template. Select from template. Click create. Uploader is created from the template, and by default there are 3 upload parameters, one for rows, validation and import. I'll change the title. Delete the upload parameter for import because our use case does not include the importer step. Click submit. Our custom integrator is successfully created. Now we will create table LOV component for ship via interface attribute. Navigate to Desktop Integration Manager responsibility. Click Manage Components function. This is the components list page. Click on Create Component. Enter display name, internal name and the owner application. The owner application should be the same as the owner application of Integrator. So I'm selecting Web Applications Desktop Integrator. Select LOV table as the component type. Click Apply. The component is created, and these are the list of parameters that are by default generated for this component. Table select column and table column alias. These 2 component parameters should hold the interface attribute name of column that will be populated by the LOV in the spreadsheet. Hence, enter ship via lookup code for table column alias as well as table select column. Table columns is the comma separated column names of the lookup table that will be shown in the LOV component. Enter meaning comma description as the table columns. Table headers hold the display name for table columns. You can configure the LOV window that will be displayed in the spreadsheet. You can provide the caption, the height and the width. Click Apply to save the component parameters value. Now associate this table LOV component to the ship via interface attribute in the integrator definition. Navigate to Manage Integrators function within Desktop Integration Manager. Search for the integrator that we just created. Source Custom or Oracle helps you in filtering the data. Select Custom. Click Update icon. Navigate to Interfaces step. Select Interface to view the list of interface attributes. Click Update Interface Attribute icon for ship via lookup code. Select Validation type. We need the values entered in ship via lookup code to be validated against the custom lookup table that we created. So select the validation type as table. This section is refreshed with the values or fields required for table validation. ID column is a mandatory field. It should hold the lookup table column name whose value will be populated in the suppliers table. So we want to populate the lookup code in the suppliers table. Meaning column. It is the lookup table column name whose value will be populated in the spreadsheet. Validation entity, it is the table column name of the lookup table. Where clause is used to filter the data that will be shown in the LOV. Search for the component that we created. Select LOV type. Poplist displays a static list of values, whereas the standard pulls the data at the runtime and shows in the LOV. We will use standard LOV type. Provide user hint text for the LOV and save. Submit the changes. Now let us define layout for the integrator. Select Integrator and click Define Layout. Click Create Layout. Enter layout name. As we had defined earlier, supplier name is a required field for all layouts. Select placement as line. Select supplier ID, VAT registration number and shipware lookup code. These three columns will be shown in addition to the supplier name in the spreadsheet. Click Next. Change width for the supplier name. Save changes by clicking Apply. Now preview or test the integrator definition. Select Integrator and click on Preview. WebADI document is created. Click Close. Enter the supplier ID, supplier name and VAT registration number. Double-click corresponding shipware cell. This is the LOV that is displayed based upon the component that we had defined. Notice the meaning and description columns displayed here. Select one of the values. Notice that shipware cell is populated with the meaning value. Similarly, enter more records. Notice here that FedEx is the meaning value, whereas Federal Express is the description value. When you select that row, FedEx, the meaning value is populated in the shipware column. Enter another row, and this time instead of using the LOV, we will enter a value directly in the cell for shipware. Navigate to Add-ins. Access Oracle menu to navigate to Upload function. Upload page is displayed based upon the uploaded definition that we had defined earlier in the integrator. Accept the default values and click on Upload. All the three rows have been successfully uploaded. Now let us verify the data that is stored in suppliers table. Again, here are the values that are stored in the custom lookup table. We have lookup code, meaning and description. Please note the lookup code against the DHL Air and the FedEx, as well as the Airborne Express. Now let us look at the values that are stored in the custom suppliers table. Please please note the ship via lookup code column is populated with the lookup code instead of the meaning that we had seen in the spreadsheet.